I didn't want to fight, but I saw something that I wanted to get. Yep, I see it. It was hidden.
Is that a treasure chest?
Yes, it is. Leg breaker. It doesn't seem like these enemies are going to respawn, so I should be able to make a clean run through. Except for this one. And this one. I remember there should be a secret passage right here. Something about. Oh, I didn't notice this before, but does anyone feel a slight breeze in this area? Wait. This way. You think this is like the passage we found yesterday? So there's a secret passage here too. If so, I imagine it probably opens like last one did. Maybe this leads somewhere else in the capital then. No way to know for sure until we open it. Touchy touchy. I'm just if you pop it open and something runs at you. What you can do? I suspected as much. I wonder where this leads. It's hard to be sure. We lose our sense of distance and location traveling underground like this. But if I had to guess, I said we're heading in the direction of... Maybe there's an exit close by. Alright, let's try and make our way outside. None. I ain't gonna be wasting our time doing this. These freaking monsters keeps getting me trapped in a narrow corner.
That looks like a tough one. Be careful.
If I could just run right past you, that'd be great. That leads back. Knock you down. Gotta make sure I look everywhere. Oh, snap. My goodness, so many fights. But I am gaining XP. I do know something. If you run, they hear you. I have never noticed that.
Oh, there's the exit.
Sweet.
We're finally there.
I want that treasure. So I'm going back. Oh, it's right here. There better be no monsters up here. I'm going to be angry.
Oh, what a nice looking treasure chest.
La Fournette. Look, the distance is only, what, 20 meters. I would have just jumped down. Now, yeah, about 20, 15 meters. None. Oh, back home. Hmm? Hey, isn't this? Yep. Everything's connected. Oats District. Close the door, please. We seem to have emerged in the Oats District. Machias' home is here, if I'm not mistaken. Wow! I had no idea that underground passes went all the way from the port to here. The network of tunnels beneath the city really does seem to cover a vast area. It seems like something out of a spy novel. I'll say, maybe it's a sign. I am accidentally pressing the turbo button. What's that? That must be the chime to mark the noon hour. Yeah, the Heimdall Cathedral bell. The cathedral itself is pretty far away over in the Senek district. You can hear it pretty clearly even here. Machias, what are you contemplating about? Well, I think it's about time we find something to eat. How about we order to go from one of the local shops? And we really don't have much, but I'll be happy to at least treat you to coffee at our house. What? You mean what? Machias, you're inviting us to your home? They decided to get some fish and chips to go from a nearby pub. With their meals in hand, they headed to Machias' house to enjoy lunch, cup of coffee, a chessboard. Ah, so this is the capital's famous fish and chip. But you guys have hot dogs too. But I was expecting it to be delicious, but even still, I'm impressed. Yeah, the pub's supposed to be pretty well known for their fish and chips. I'll admit, it tastes good. At the end of the day, it's still greasy comfort food. Better eat while it's hot. It tastes disgusting if you let it cool off. That's fish and chips for you. Probably still better than wartime ration though. What food isn't? This coffee seems pretty high class. It got a nice rich fragrance. Do you buy your own beans and grind them at home? Yeah, it looks like my father went out and stocked up not too long ago. Now and then he gets the chance to take some time away from his duties and come relax back here. It seems his coffee is a small island of luxury in his heretic daily life. Huh? Basically means that he gets to drink some coffee. That does sound like something I could see Governor saying. He seems like quite a reasoned, respectable man to me. You hardly imagine a home like this belonging to an important official like the Imperial Governor. It's tiny. What do you mean it's tiny? You know, Fee, it wouldn't hurt to be a little less blunt. Nobody's. As I said, my father and I are commoners through and through. He might be a top official, but neither of us really saw that as a reason to change our whole lifestyle. It's not as though we don't have some attachment to this house. Ah, right. It does seem like a comfy place to live in. Really cozy and relaxing.
Ooh,
Picture.
there's a photo.
Voiceover.
Oh, that.
At least finish eating.
Aww, look at cute little Machias there.
He looks like he had such a sweet disposition.
Yeah, before he grew up to be a stubborn old nag.
Stop nitpicking people's old family photos! Honestly.
The governor looks the same as ever, though. Is that woman next to him your older sister or something?
Close enough. She was a cousin on my father's side of the family. Since she lived quite close, she often came to visit. Our family was just my father and I, so having her around was a big help.
The way you speak about her seems to imply you no longer see her. Did she get married and move away?
Silence.
She died.
Never say she died. Say she passed away.
Around 6 years ago.
Oh,
I think he's 9 or 10.
I see. And that has something to do with why you hate the nobility, right?
So...
I never really planned on telling anyone about this. But considering all we've been through, I suppose it's time I told you a little more about me. It's a long story, but would you hear me out?
Of course.
It's not because I don't have to read.
absolutely.
Glad to.
Thanks.
More cutscenes.
Sis was 9 years my senior. Beautiful, kind. To me, she was in every sense the ideal woman. Now, as I said earlier, we're a family of commoners through and through. But my father proved to be a very capable government official. And eventually, he was promoted to an important government position, where he started to make a name for himself. Honesty and integrity are a core part of his work ethic. So, of course, he made his fair share of enemies. But after seeing success in a number of major projects, he gained a reputation both inside and outside the government. My mother died when I was still young. But Sis happened to live around here and ended up helping us in more ways than I can count. Since she was his niece, my father always made a fuss over her. And even though she didn't live in the same house, she was like a real sister to me, and a real daughter to my father. I was always so proud of her. As a child, she was practically my idol. And as you'd expect, she had countless admirers among the men of the city. But for all her popularity, she was always level-headed and sensible. So I never felt I had anything to worry about.
What do you mean by
Until
that?
he appeared.
Who's the he?
He was one of my father's subordinates at City Hall. Though unlike him, he was a noble by birth. A man of high rank, too. The heir of a count. However, he had none of the arrogance or haughtiness one usually associates with the nobility. When I met him myself, he came across as an honest and loyal man. He met Sis when Dad introduced him to her one day. And eventually, the two of them fell in love and began a relationship, despite the difference in their social status. As a child, I was frustrated beyond words. But even I had to admit that the two of them made a good couple.
But you were kids.
Sis seemed so happy when she was with him that I had no choice but to let it go and accept their relationship. Time went on and they became engaged, with Dad acting as the go-between. And that's when everything started to fall apart. His family couldn't have been more blatant in their attempts to undermine the relationship. Apparently, one of the four great houses, House Cayenne, proposed an arranged marriage on short notice. And the Count's family were up in arms at the thought he might choose to take a mere commoner as his wife. Since my father held an important post, They were limited in how shamelessly they could try to sabotage the marriage. But they began to harass and threaten her in secret every way they could think of. They made her life a living hell. Maybe she didn't want to cause trouble for the man she loved, or perhaps she did it out of consideration for my father. But all that time, she chose to endure it alone. She never discussed it or asked for help.
Always ask for help, please. Always ask for help.
And finally, it became so crushing that she took her own life.
Yes, please ask for help.
It was only afterward that my father and I learned what had really happened. It seems that at the very last, he had chosen to betray her love for him. But I told her, he said. I told her I'd treasure her as my mistress instead if she'd just accept that we couldn't be married.
Bro.
I just don't understand it. Why would she take her own life?
That was a different story. Of course, the dad's gonna pop you in the face.
After that, my father seemed to redouble his efforts. It was like watching a machine kick into high gear. With the help of his ally, Chancellor Osborne, he was able to wrest control of City Hall from the noble faction. Then, 4 years ago, he was appointed to his current position as governor of Heimdall. And that's how the Regnitz family came to be where it is.
I don't even know what to say.
So that's why you started hating nobles?
Yeah. I was so furious at Sis's death. My hatred needed to be directed at someone. Anyone.
You
First
sis?
I blamed her fiancé, then his family, and the family of the Duke who tried to intervene. In the end, I just hated the nobility as a whole. The people, their culture, the entire idea of social classes. I desperately wanted the strength to win against them, to show how right I was, how wrong they were. But deep down, I knew the truth about my hate. I knew I was taking out my anger on people who didn't deserve it.
You did?
Yeah, homie,
Maybe
you.
from different social classes, but people are still individuals. Sis's fiancé was faithful to her. He just wasn't strong enough to shield her from all that ugliness, despite his love. And the Count and his family were only acting in their best interests, which is to be expected, really. Ultimately, I've had to acknowledge that not all commoners are good people, and not all nobles are unworthy of respect. Eustace might not have done much to change my opinion. But getting to know you two showed me that there are nobles who live up to that name.
But Laura's the knight.
Machias.
I have no idea how my father feels about all of this, but this is how I've come to feel.
I see. You have my thanks.
I'm glad you felt you could talk to us about it.
Still, I don't think it hurt to be a bit more honest with yourself. If you're willing to admit all of that, maybe you can find it in you to be friends with Eustace too.
Let's just call it the gray area right there.
Are you kidding me? I might accept that not all nobles are bad, but that arrogant, self-centered fool can go choke on a palm. Always mocking me for spending so much time studying, or telling me I need to get out more.
I don't think he goes quite that far. Besides, I don't think he does it on purpose. He doesn't mean any harm.
That's the most irritating part. He does it without thinking.
But hey, you guys get from late, so who gives a damn?
Well, that was a good coffee break, wouldn't you say?
He got the S-Craft. Machias can now use S-Craft. Ultimate shot. Well, lunchtime is over. Is Must be almost time for the summer festival declaration to start going up. Huh, I would have thought preparation for that would have started way before now. Is the summer festival not that big of a deal in the capital? It depends on who you ask, I guess. I always just thought of it as one of those small yearly traditions. In my hometown, the summer festival is a major event with extensive preparation. Perhaps those places where the ancient and mystic traditions survive put more effort into celebrating the festival. And she makes it so hard to read. Optimism does seem to have mostly vanished here. My mic just cut off. Wow. Not as much as Roger or Husband though. Well, I suppose it's hard to think of it as a seasonal festival in the capital when it's celebrated a month late to begin with. I think most just sees it as an opportunity to catch a glimpse of the imperial family. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, that makes sense. Is that your Argus ring? What is doing ringing out here? It's Class 7 Group 8. Ring is supposed to be. Man's voice. Hello there, Ring. This is Carl Regnitz, Governor. I don't even need to read that. Did? Come to think of it, he did say that we'd be able to use our Argus communication functionality in the city. Did he? You're a Group A representative, so I figured it'd be best to call you. It's now a good team. Yes, now it's truly fine. We actually just left your home. Machias invited us in for coffee. Did he now? I had a favorite specialty store roast. Those beans, just the way I like them. What? Basically, he just has somebody made it. It was top-notch brew. Alright, with all that's been going on, it was nice to just sit down and enjoy a cup of coffee. Well, I'm glad you were able to spend some quality time together. Either way, you're getting to the point. I'm calling you because we have a bit of a problem on our hand. What you mean? That being the case, I'd like Group A to take care of one additional task for me. An extra task? We can do that, sure, but what exactly is it you'd like us to do? It appears to have been a burglary at a drawer in Gardner District. But that's not all. The culprit seems to have left a message addressed to you. Say what? Your confusion is understandable. However, the juror submitted a report of the burglary to the city hall a short while ago. Normally, I'll leave this to the proper authorities. But would you be willing to go and see if there's anything you can do? Of course, yes sir. Go ahead to Gardner District at once. Alright. And I'll leave this matter in your hand. What's that all about? Whatever it was, you seem perplexed. Well, wait till you hear this. Green explained the particulars of the governor's additional task to the group. So, jewelry boutique was burglarized, and the corporate left a message addressed to us. Weird. Though thinking about it, this all sounds kind of familiar. Yeah, now that you mention it, I'm getting a strange sense of deja vu as well. So, it would have been helpful if my father could have furnished a few more details. So, it's already past noon. Let's head over to the Grainer District and find out what happened. Is it instant? Meaning the other members of Group A paid a short visit to the port to report the monster extermination. As they're doing so, they boarded the tram to Grainer District. It's completed. You material? One additional few study tests were ended. Gregory at the jeweler required. He seems. Oh, Sankara's jeweler? It seems that Gregory has taken place at a jeweler in the Granger district called Sankara's. We should head over and find out what happened as soon as possible. Okay, it is not instant. But this makes a good opportunity to call it a day. Oh, you guys enjoy? Like and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.